I'm joined by Stephen Caldwell and Kevin Kilbane. Your reaction to not only the news that Alphonso Davies will be out for a considerable amount of time, now just 15 months away from the World Cup, but also the way this has gone down right now, seemingly with his agent and Alphonso Davies' camp, the captain of the country, at odds with the federation, Stevie.
Just disappointed, Luke. First of all, disappointed with the injury. Extremely disappointed for the lad. He's going to miss out on some high-profile games in his European season with Bayern Munich still in the Champions League, looking like they're heading towards the Bundesliga. And just the whole emotional charge of the situation, I think, is interesting. You know, I don't think Alphonso Davies' agent should have came out with the statement that he did. He should have waited, allowed the emotion to dissolve a little bit. I can understand why he's upset, but ultimately these things happen in football, Kev, and for his agent, his team to come out with this is disappointing, isn't it? All round the injury, and then of course the reaction, which is going to create story after story in the coming weeks and months with Alphonso Davies in Canada Soccer.
Well, it will be. It'll be a big story internally, won't it, Steve? And the thing is, Alphonso Davies can't really distance himself from those comments, can he? That's the problem, I think, that Alphonso Davies and Canada Soccer and Jesse Marsch have right now. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see how it does play out. I echo what you're saying, Stevie. So disappointing that the injuries occurred the way that it has, that he's going to miss so much football. We're hoping he's got enough time between now and the World Cup starting that he can get a good run of games ahead of it. But we don't know with this type of injury how a player can recover from it. So we are in the unknown. I think we know that. But I think the whole thing, the way that it's come about, has been extremely disappointing, yes.
You've both played for your country, Stevie for Scotland, Kev for Ireland. Tell us how that relationship would be in the build-up to a game between the captain of a team and the coach in terms of whether a player is fit. Would Alphonso Davies, as the captain of Canada, with everything that he's achieved, been put in a position in your mind, Kev, where he would have been forced to play if he didn't feel he was ready?
Again, we're speculating a bit, but going back to my history, as you're talking about there, Luke, I have never known, and I'm talking about maybe 30 years ago when I first came into the game, when a player stating that he's injured has been forced to play. I've never seen it, so it seems very unlikely to me, just the way that I would gone about through my career, that type of incident could have happened, because ultimately the player always has the final say. If the player's not right, he's not happy in himself, he will always speak to the physiotherapy department. He will always speak to the doctors that they have available to him. Ultimately, the doctor overrules everybody. The doctor, in every sort of incident, should be saying to Jesse Marsch and the player, look, they come together. He's the intermediary, and he's the one that would always say he's not fit if the player states that he's not fit. So that's where it seems to me, again, we speculate on what's being said, and that's the problem. So this is the ultimate thing that's going to happen here, Stevie. But I've never seen it where a player has stated to the manager, I am not fit, I cannot play, and then the manager has forced him to play.
The issue that he had after Thursday's game against Mexico in the Nations League semi-final is not what he's injured with. So, sometimes these things are just unfortunate circumstance, fate. It's what makes it even more disappointing when we know that one of Canada's best players is out for a considerable time. But that's the nature of the beast, sorry. That is the name of the game. That's what happens at high-level football. You're just always at risk of one of these things happening, and unfortunately it's happened on that stage, in that game, and the reaction's been quite severe from it.
Kev, is there a danger now that there is a problem in terms of the relationship between Alphonso Davies, his camp, and Canada Soccer moving forward?
Yes, absolutely, Luke. This is the issue I think that Jesse Marsch has now. He's his most high-profile player. We know globally what Alphonso Davies has done over the last 5 or 6 years. We know how important he has been to Canada. I think we've both stated, Stevie and I, that he probably isn't the most important player, but what he brings in terms of uncertainty towards opposition, we can see how opposition react to Alphonso Davies being on the field. So that's obviously something that's in Jesse Marsch's mind right now as well. But I can only see this being a major problem for Jesse Marsch going forward, because, as you say there, Luke, it's his captain. He is ultimately making this statement. It's going to be very hard for Alphonso to roll back from his agent making this making the statement that he actually has. So, Stevie, I feel, again, you've been around this team, Stevie. You know exactly how this team maybe go about the daily business and what their thoughts are towards each other, essentially. But I think it's going to be a hard one for Alphonso and Jesse Marsch to get over, certainly in the short term. I think it's going to be a difficult one.
Yeah, they've just got to get on the phone immediately, don't they? They've got to discuss this and they've got to put it to bed. And of course, once Alphonso Davies takes some time and maybe the feelings around playing in the game dissipate, then I think this won't be an issue. But it has to be dealt with. It can't be left. And sometimes that's the issue with international football. Weeks and months go by. This has to be dealt with now, so it's not an issue going forward.
Stevie, how does it affect Canada on the pitch right now, not having their starting left back moving forward for at least the next few months?
It affects him a lot. Look, he's the best left back in the country. He's one of the best left backs in the world. So not having him there is an issue. But as we've seen in the game, as he went off, Nico Segur came on to right back. Johnson went to left back, did really well. Does that take away a bit of Johnson's game? Absolutely. So maybe Jesse Marsch will be looking towards Sam Adekugbe, who's hopefully coming back from injury soon. You've got Richie Larea, who we don't know how long his injury is going to be, but he's capable of playing on the left-hand side as well. So there's still options there, but there's not an Alphonso Davies, Kev, is there? He's going to miss having Alphonso Davies to select in that position as he moves forward, Jesse Marsch for Canada.
Yeah, and it's the unpredictability that Alphonso Davies does bring. I think we've got to look at it historically, where when Alphonso Davies has missed games, I think the team and the group of players have been able to cope without him. But having him on the field, it puts Canada's men's team on a different setting. I feel with the opposition, again, that uncertainty that's around him. But there are options to Jesse Marsch to cope with that. Sam Adekugbe looks the obvious one. Again, we'll see how his injury is, but there are certain players to me that can actually that can fill that void for Jesse Marsch going forward. Yes.
So hugely disappointing news today for Canada and for Alphonso Davies. And when the squad gets back together in June, they'll have to do without their captain.